Okay, we are going to get started with our January Club Q, and the kit that we will be doing right now is DP1501, The Time of Our Lives, and we are suggesting for Powder Puff Chalking Inks, Royal Blue, Blue Moon, and Huckleberry. But like I always say, if you have something in the stash of powder puffs that you have at home, you go ahead and use whatever color works for you. Today I actually have an older ink that is called Blue Hawaiian. That's more of a turquoise color. I'm going to add some turquoise to mine. I have Purple Passion, and I have Sugar Plum. So this is kind of a bright purple. So you choose whatever you would like to use for your pictures, and we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to get started on the cutting diagrams. Some of them we have, the other kit that comes with January Club Q, there wasn't very many diagrams at all. Everything was kind of pre-cut for you. This one has a few to trim, so we're going to get started on the cutting. I'm going to get the samples out of the way here. The first thing that we will be cutting will be your 3 papers that look like this. They are a 6x12, and there is a blue with white dot, a skinny stripe, and then the map paper. So go ahead and find those 3. And if you need to hit pause at any point, just hit pause and start again whenever you are ready. But we need these 3 papers. They're 6x12, and we are going to trim those into strips. I'm going to move this out of the way. While you're working, if you want to leave your instruction sheet sitting next to you, you can just kind of use it as a guide for placing things onto your page. But I'm going to move the samples out of the way, and we are going to cut these 3 papers. And these are the papers that actually go with this diagram here. So what we're going to do, we want it at 11.5 inches. So we're going to trim the 1/2 inch off of each one of these. I'm actually going to do them all at the same time. So I have all 3 papers here, and I am going to trim off 1/2 inch. You can do this separately if you'd like. Just hit pause. So 1/2 inch off the end. So that makes it 11.5. And then each one of these we need to just turn. I'm going to do these just singly. The single one first. We will turn, and we need to do 1 3/4 inch strips. So put that into 1 3/4 and trim. Move it to 1 3/4 again and trim, and then 1 3/4, and then this will leave just a little bit left over scrap piece. 1 3/4. So you have 3 at 1 3/4 by 11. I'm going to put these in a pile over here. This little piece is just leftover extra. You can use it for whatever you want. A lot of times we say don't throw anything away till the end because you might want to use it, even the scraps. Okay, so I'm actually going to put these 2 together and trim. These all need to be in 1 3/4 inch strips as well. You can do them separately. I'm going to put them together and trim 1 3/4 and trim, and then the last one at 1 3/4. Okay, so we have all of our strips cut. The other things we need to cut are, there is 3 3/4 by 12 inch white strips. There's 3 of them. And we need to cut all of those into 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we need to cut squares out of these at 3 1/4. So get your 3 strips of white paper. I'll cut one first here. And they need to go to, they're already 3 1/4 this way, so we're going to do 3 1/4 here. Move it down, 3 1/4. Once this cutting is done, they're just kind of some simple cuts, but we'll get the trimmer out of the way. This is an easy way to fit lots of pictures on your page. We're doing frames all the way around the page, so I think this layout actually holds like 10 or 12 pictures. It's quite a bit. So that was what we were kind of going for this month, is extra space on your kits for lots of pictures. Make sure you cut those right. They should all be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 at this point. And then there is one of those that is already in your die cut and punched out. I don't know if I said that to begin with, but you can go ahead and punch out all of your die cuts. I punched out most of them. I left all these little photo corners actually still in there, and I'm just going to grab them as I need them. So totally up to you. You can make little piles, or you can just grab them as you need them. Okay, and the last cut that we need to do for photo mats, this is already at 7 inches this way, and we need to do 2 5x7s. So we turn it this way, we cut 5, scoot it down and cut 5 again, and then you have some left over. You have your 2 5x7s. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. That's all of the trimming we need to do for the photo backers. The only other thing, let's see here. The only other thing that needs cut, and you'll need scissors anyway to be able to cut out around these circles. So you can either trim these out with your scissors, or you can put these in your trimmer. Sometimes it's easier with these straight lines to just trim it out with your trimmer. And as we go ahead and chalk these up any way you would like. I probably won't chalk every single piece, but I will show you a few here. And then you can choose whether you would like to chalk it or not. And this one I actually accidentally left a little white here on the side, but I'm going to chalk it anyway, so you'll never even know that that little white strip is there. Okay, and then these we will trim out with scissors. These are all ready to go. And then you also have in your kit, these were a few that were already pre-cut for you, more 11-inch strips that I'm going to put in the pile there also. So I kind of have everything organized in piles where I can just grab them as I need to. Let's get this out of the way. And I will move in my 2 background papers. You have 2 12x12 white papers. And I'm going to try to get these all to fit in the screen so that we could do both pages at the same time. Okay, so on your background paper, you can see on page, let's see here, on page 1, we have the bigger blue stripe, the skinny stripe, the solid blue, map, dot, solid blue. So I'm going to line those up on my first page just like I have it on the sample. So as you're looking through these, and you might have to flip it over and look at the other side because we're using the other side of some of them. The thick blue stripe, and I would not glue these down to at the very beginning. We're going to kind of get these spaced out so that you know where you want them, and then we can glue them down. Okay, after the big blue stripe, we do the skinny stripe, and I put not even quite a quarter of an inch in between. This one is hard to tell you exactly what we need to put in between there. We're just going to kind of center it and eyeball it. Okay, so now there's actually two blues. There's one that has kind of a dot on it with a little bit of greenish yellow in there. That is one of the ones that go next. And after that is a map. Any of the map ones. Most of this ends up being covered up, so you don't have to be really particular about the print that's on there. It's just, I'm going to line it up just like it is on the sample, but use whichever ones you want. Okay, and then a solid blue on the end. And once you kind of get these spaced how you want them, then you can go ahead and what I actually did, I don't know if you want to do this, but what I actually did on my sample, I got them spaced where I wanted them, and then I just picked up, I held the middle, I picked this end up, and I put a little glue on that, on that end. Put it down where I wanted it. I held the center so it's not moving from where you want it. And then I put a little glue here. And that is plenty to get it to stay down. Get this one lined up a little bit again. Once you get that in place, I hold it with my thumb here in the middle, and then I put a little glue. And if these are not specifically, or if these are not exactly the same amount, spaced the same amount, it's totally okay because it really is mostly covered up with photo mats and stuff like that. And I'm also using this 3-in-1 glue, which a lot of times I use the Bear glue that I love, love, love. But this 3-in-1 glue gives it a little bit of time to kind of move things around, which I love when I'm trying to space things correctly. This lets me move it just a little bit. Flip up the end here. And once you get these on, I just kind of wanted to show you how I did mine. And again, they're not exactly spaced the same, and it's totally okay because we are going to cover those up. Okay, so on the second page, you can see how I have the strips going the other way. So I'm going to start with a navy blue. And I'm going to do this one a little differently. And I'm going to put a strip of glue, move down a little bit, put a strip of glue. So I'm just giving you a couple of options, whatever you feel comfortable doing. And then I'm going to place these because this glue gives me a little time to kind of move things around. If you have one that is really, really tacky and it's going to, you know, grab on right away and not let you move things, and I probably wouldn't do it that way. And again, make sure you chalk these up any color you want. There's, I'm going to use a little bit of purple actually on this one. Not a lot of it shows, but it does give a little extra boost in color, and it has a little soft, chalky look to it. It's an easy way to add an extra color in there for sure. See, I like this one. It has lots of royal blues in it, but it also has a little bit of purple. So I'm just going to highlight the purple by adding some of this. And I'm just doing a few as we go so that you can see what it looks like. But if you are going to, let's see, I got my glue a little mixed up here. The great thing about this glue too is that you can just wipe it off. Okay, and the next one we will do the back side here. It might get a little messy in the middle, which is okay because again, it's going to be covered up mostly. You can see some of my glue there. Space this just a little more. That's why I love this glue. Space it out just a little bit more. Okay. And you see I didn't get that quite spaced exactly right, but it's not a big deal at all. I'm going to leave it just like that. And then from there, it's just layering on your photo mats. So you have on page 1 and page 2, you have a white photo backer that gets a blue inside. And I'm going to actually chalk up that blue with a little bit of purple. I like that on there. It actually ends up looking kind of like a royal blue. Or you can use the royal blue or the deep sea color, which kind of highlights the blue and looks really nice. I'll also show you what it looks like with the blue Hawaiian. Put this one up here, and I'm just going to kind of place things where I think they're going to go, and I can always move it around later. So the blue Hawaiian on here looks really pretty too. It adds a little bit of turquoise color to the corners, the edges. I normally have my ATG gun sitting here and use for most of this stuff, but I don't have it with me today. So the 3-in-1 will work just fine. So this is going to go about 1/4 inch in from the left side of the strips and about 1/2 inch up from the bottom. And again, I don't glue these down right away because if you have, depending on the pictures you put on here, depending on what you want to cover up, what you want to show, the size of your pictures, stuff like that. So I just lay it out, and then later you can come back through and kind of adjust it to where you want. Okay, so all these white ones, go ahead and chalk these up the way that you want. On here, it looks like maybe I used, on my sample, navy around the white, and then royal blue around. Sometimes I put royal blue with like the navy over it, and I think that's what I did here to kind of get, it still has that bright look, but it has a little bit darker around the edges. And then I just kind of went back and forth, navy, royal blue around the outside to chalk these up. So if you want to, go ahead and push pause and just kind of chalk these up the colors that you want. I'm using Blue Hawaiian. So that's Blue Hawaiian if you just use the blue. I'm going to put purple over top of it. I always use the darker color second so that your pads don't get totally messed up there with different colors. But I love the look of this with the blue and the purple in there. So I'm just going to place this. And then you just start chalking yours up like you want them. I won't chalk all of them. I'm just going to kind of show you where I have them placed. And then you can go back through later and glue things down. And I'm kind of centering these between the two strips so that there's, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch here and 1/4 of an inch here. The words, so much fun. You can go ahead and chalk up the edges of those. And I'm adding purple to mine, but if you want to do all blues, definitely can. I'm going to do, oops, I meant to do this color first, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. This goes right down the center of that map one. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I hope you didn't glue anything down. And actually, if you did, it doesn't matter whatsoever. I got these mixed up. This is actually page 2. The way that I have this set up, it's going to go on page 2. So I'm going to start over here. Sorry about that. And if you glued it down, it's going to work just fine the way that it is. But this setup actually goes on to the stripes that go this way, or the strips that go that way. This is exactly why I don't glue it down to begin with. So that I can move things around if I need to. Okay, so that's page 2. Page 1 actually starts with your 5x7 down here, and then your strips are going this way. If you glued it down the other way, it's going to look just as good. No worries at all. And then again from there, it is, I'm going to chalk this up because like I said earlier, I left a white strip on there by accident. So I'm going to chalk that up so you can't even see that strip. Give it a bluish purple look. This goes about 1/4 of an inch above. And then we add all of our photo spots here. That's why I love this month's kits. It holds lots of photos. Remember to chalk these up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do one here too. And I'm going to use one more purple. It's called Sugar Plum. I'm going to add that right on there as well. Has a little more of a fuchsia look to it, but I'm going to put it right over that blue, and so it has a real purple look. Just to kind of give you an idea how you can mix those colors up a little bit. Okay, so you have on page 1, you have 2 purple frames. The smaller frame goes on page 1, and the little crown, the gray with the blue crown, goes on there. So trim these out so that you can put them behind your tags. It does not have to be a nice, neat, perfect circle. Because they are going to be behind the tags and you won't see. You just want to kind of stay on the outside of that so you have space to glue it to the back of the tag. But this definitely does not have to be perfect because you won't see that behind the tag. Oops. Got a little out of control there. Still will work though. Okay. So behind your smallest purple tag, I just put a little glue right around the circle. And your little printed embellishment goes behind there. You have a little bag of brads. That blue brad goes in there. And these are just kind of fun, cute little embellishments. Next to those tags you have, I'm going to chalk up the ends a little bit with some blue and purple. So you have a little banner that comes out the side of those tags. I love the color that makes. And of course you don't want to glue these down completely until you have, until you have your photo on there. So again, just a little blue or glue behind there. That one gets tucked on there. And these, I just kind of, just to tack them in place, I just put a little bit of blue or glue at the bottom here, just so that they kind of stay in place. But you don't want to glue them down until you have photos in there. Just above here, there is an arrow, so you want to take your, there's 2 purple arrow backers, and we want the one that doesn't have the little smile back on it. See, there's one that has smile that fits on there like that. And this is for page 2. For page 1, you want the one without the smile part. So it goes purple, then white, and then blue. And this is where the Bear glue that we have on our website comes in really handy, because these more intricate die cuts, it's the Bear glue is a very precision tip. I love it. Love, love, love it. So you want to use something that you can put a few dots of glue on there. Smile goes here. And then your frames, you have blue frames, and it's every other white square will get a frame. And the ones in between that will get photo corners. So if you punch these out, these are some fun extra pieces that can be used for little tags or something on another page, or your extra paper pack that you get with your Club Q. You can make more pages with it. So, and if you do want to tack these down, you can put just a little bit of glue there so you can put a picture in later. But you want to use these frames with your picture, lay it on your picture. You can trace the outside and then you can trim it out so that it fits exactly there. So every other one gets a frame. Same with this side. You can put your pictures in there and then glue it down. I say that a few times, I know, but lots of times in class, people will glue their frames down just to get the page done and then realize that they have to get their pictures in later. So I just like to remind you not to glue it down quite yet. Okay, after you get all of those lined up, now is the time to take each of your little photo corners out of here. And what you do is cut maybe a 3x3 photo, put it on here, and then your little photo corners go right on the corner just for a little extra decoration. After you get your pictures on there. And this is why these things are so little. This is why I actually left them in the master piece here, because they are very easy to lose once you get them punched out. And depending on which ones you want to do, I went back and forth. So purple, and then we have the dotted ones here, purple, dotted ones, purple. Totally up to you how you want to put those on there. And again, you just use a little bit of glue, put it on the corner of your picture. Before you glue this smile completely down, you'll want to have your big picture in here, your tags put together, and your tags are going to go just behind this smile word. And if you want to put this entire thing together, this is a lot of times what people will do at our events, our in-person events. They will just tack things down just enough so they stay on the page, but then when you get your pictures picked out, you can always peel them back up and add your pictures. Like Patsy always says, in 10 years when you're going to put pictures on your pages, you can still peel them up and put a picture on if you want to. But we have most of this done, and a very simple kit, an easy way to add lots of photos to a couple of pages. This one holds 5, 10, 11, 12 photos. So easy way to get lots of photos onto a page, and we hope you enjoyed the January Club Q. We appreciate you being a Club Q member, and we will see you next time.